What is going on, everybody? Cyrus Looney here with Fight Night 17, hosted by Primetime MMA. We have EK Jakey in the main event, up against the one and only BSDT Drivers. This guy's an up-and-coming threat, obviously trying to challenge the eternal contender of EK Jakey. Joining me in the booth this evening is going to be the one and only Bane and Doctor Who. How you doing, my guys?
Could not be better. Absolutely excited for what is sure to be a stacked card. Of course, whenever you have an Elite King and a Body Snatcher up at the top in the main event with a grappler versus striker matchup, it's sure to deliver.
Yeah, on that note, Jakey's got an incredible Usman T-Drive, as we've seen in previous accounts. He's a great striker, so it definitely is probably a fight for the ages.
Yeah, for sure, man. Those body snatchers, they've been showing time in, time out that they've basically a problem for anybody. The way that they rip to the body, their overall footwork, it's been absolutely beautiful to see, and T-Driver's definitely up there. Gonna have his work cut out for him, as you guys alluded to. EK Jakey, one of the more dominant grapplers on the scene, and it makes for a perfect main event, that kind of habitual grappler v striker matchup. You don't often see it as much in MMA these days, as most people have a fairly well-rounded game rather than being specialists, but both of these guys, along with their all-rounded skills, specialize in their particular areas, and it's really going to be about who's able to implement that game plan. That, of course, though, is not the only fight on the card this evening. We are going to be starting off with MG and Spartan War. As we look forward on the card as a whole, we have a lineup of absolute killers. BSD Pudgy up against KM Caliber, so the Body Snatchers also taking the co-main event, this time up against the Kingsman rather than the Elite Kings in Caliber. That man right there, both Pudgy and Caliber, very, very entertaining strikers. They have the ability to mix it all together as well. I mean, I'm sure that you're very familiar with their styles, lads.
Absolutely, man. Spartan War is a guy who will, as the name suggests, walk through fire to get the job done. No better name to open up the card. A couple other guys that I'm looking at, though, on that main card. GSP is GOAT versus the hype train himself, Mike Tran. That one is going to be an absolute bang. We know Mike Tran wants to bounce back in a big way. Can he do it against such a veteran in GSP is GOAT? Now bouncing back to the prelims, Doc. BST Kenny, this guy is looking to make a name. We'll see if he can do it early on Primetime MMA Fight Night 17.
Indeed, well, he's fighting a brilliant opponent in Scythe, who's on a 2-1, on a 2-win streak. On notes, you got Guns headlining the prelims as well. And then going back to the Mike Tran fight, he's actually making his PS debut now, so that's always good to see. On another note, Papa Lima has got a win got a number. Has got a number in the win column, and he's probably looking to get another win off of that against a veteran like Pug.
Yeah, that was a big win for him last time out as well. That was the Chasemefam fight, right, Doc? He was able to...
I believe so.
Yeah, he picked up that big win against Chasemefam. It was a good fight. He really put it all together late and showed why he's such a durable fighter. But like you said, AJS the Pug is a gentleman that loves that grappling. We've seen it time and time again, has some hands to go with it. So, to be honest with you, this kind of a night may be shaping up to be striker v grappler throughout the entire card from a couple of the names that I'm seeing. Without further ado, though, my guys, we're going to get straight into the very, very first fight of the evening. It's going to be a bantamweight bout between, as we mentioned at the beginning of the card, MG and Spartan War. Appears that we may be having a John Lineker against Rob Font pick. I would be absolutely blown away if MG actually sticks with that Lineker pick. My God, heavy hands is an understatement.
I can't say I know the stats of Lineker, but this is definitely an interesting pick, being a 4-star versus one of the meta picks of Bantamweight.
I think it's fair to say there, Bane, that he is a stout man with heavy hands.
Something that we know and love from John Lineker is the cement blocks at the end of those forearms. If one connects, Rob Font might be going back to New England asleep on a body bag. We'll see if he can get it done. The thing is, of course, the reach of Rob Font is quite large down at 135. A lot of distance to cover for the shorter man in Lineker. Lineker out in the red, Rob Font in the blue.
Yeah, he has those T-Rex arms. He definitely needs to start walking forward, get that pressure on Spartan Warhol. Maybe he's looking to play it off the back foot, let his opponent come to him and try to walk him onto something big. Like you mentioned, going to be difficult with Rob Font, that range, and he has power of his own there, Doc, as he's starting to unload in the pocket, both guys.
Yeah, well, Lineker has a 97 power with a predator perk allowing to move forward, but he has got to be wary that he's only got an 87 footwork, so he needs to keep close, otherwise Font's just going to be able to back up, come in and just shoot his shots when he wants to.
Smart decisions here from Spartan War to mix things up to the body with those roundhouses. Very effective to debilitate the cardiovascular system of Lineker early. Will mention the 88 takedown defense of Rob Font could be a path to victory for MG. Lineker shooting for the legs might be the best and well-advised strategy, Cyrus.
Yeah, that's actually a really interesting stat. I did not know his takedown D was as low as that, and Lineker has some explosive opportunities in front of him. He can really, really let go with those hands, and he has some good takedowns of his own. Has to be careful of that front kick, though. Ooh. I mean, Rob Font's really trying to get that power off on Lineker's chin often and early, and you've got to, man. You've got to get this man's respect, because otherwise he's going to walk you down and land bomb after bomb.
You have to respect.
Said, however, with that being said about the landing bomb after bomb, then this has got a 95 chin. It's going to be difficult to break that, and you've got to constantly punch it. That being said, though, he lands that clean knockdown.
Was literally just about to say the chin on John Lineker is truly carved of stone, but was cracked momentarily right there midway through this first round. Spartan War is going to work. Lineker needs to adjust the strategy. I'd say
Oh, he cracks it again, putting on that pressure.
I mean, that man, he may have a chin of stone, but Spartan War's got a jackhammer in his hands and is going to work trying to crack that rock. And so far, so good. I mean, the damage he's landing is absolutely beautiful. Has to be careful because MG can crack him just, with one mistake with those sorts of heavy power shots of John Lineker. But so far, so good for Font. All cleanness, using that range beautifully.
Oh! Spartan War with a body knockdown right there. Lineker now getting touched up to all areas. Standing and trading in the pocket is not going to work out. That head health is just too low, Doc.
Yeah, on that being said, you've also got to be wary that stam. Like, if you have a lower stam in your opponent and you miss a shot, that's going to impact you more, and so you can just get a bigger count vulnerability window. So Font can just dig to that head and just land the heavier shots even with less power.
Rob Font is able to put together a couple of more shots just like that in the pocket. This could be it. 15 seconds in the first round, raining down the shots, but gets reversed.
Massive moment right there for Lineker, now ending this first set of 5 minutes with some vicious
ground striking being pounded down at the very end.
Yeah, I mean, Lineker has such heavy hands, it doesn't take too many, Bane, to really, really let go on that chin. What a beautiful position to close out the round in, although he's going to have it, find it maybe a little bit difficult to get it back there if Rob Font's able to replicate the early part of that first round.
The work is cut out for the former UFC Bantamweight standout. Lineker coming into the second set of 5 minutes has some serious adjustments. One thing to say, lateral movement. You need to circle out or Rob Font will cut you down with all the power of the New England cartel. Round 2 ahead of us, Doc. This one's sure to be fireworks.
Yeah, indeed, both of them heavy hands, but Font does have the heavy hands, seemingly gets another knockdown there, clean, putting on that pressure, digging straight down, nearly going to this clinch now, and this is all for Rob Font's game.
Oh,
wow!
Absolutely slept him. No, what a head kick by that man right there. Jesus.
Spartan War did not want to play around or mess with his food in this one. He was hungry and ate in a big way, coming off that break, landing that massive head kick, sending John Lineker back to 1FC.
Yeah, that John Lineker, maybe not the best pick. We saw it earlier on. I mean, obviously it was the right weight class for John Lineker, but sometimes those lower rated picks can really, really catch you in a spot of hot bother. We saw it with the who was it actually that he was using? I think it was the lightweight Jeremy Stevens that we saw on the pay-per-view. And those sorts of picks, the reach can be really, really problematic, especially with one of the bigger guys in the weight class. Rob Font is so tall, he's able to use that range behind the boxing. And he did a beautiful job of just doing that tonight. Spartan War putting it all together, really, really utilizing his advantages to the maximum effect. That all being said, though, we're about to see a man that we saw on the King of the Calf scene. I believe he was representing Aggro at the time. Moffat Man now stepping across from a Kingsman in KM Basics. These two guys I've heard very, very great things about. Moffat Man, obviously an habitual grappler. I think that you're very familiar with him from that scene yourself. Is that right, Dane?
Definitely not as familiar, but Moffat Man has made impressions when I have had the pleasure of calling his fights. The grappling truly is a different degree, and down at 125, there are so many good options to really make that specific discipline work. Henry the Messenger Cejudo, the former Olympian, can easily get this fight down if you choose to do that, and has the power to boot. However, again, talking about grappling offensively, there are also some phenomenal defensive wrestlers. TJ Dillashaw, notoriously hard to take down, also a player down at 125. However, we're getting a Moreno mirror match, Doc.
Double baby
Moreno
face.
mirror match, both of them with very heavy, not even heavy hands, I would say, more quick hands.
They're so well-rounded, Moreno is, man. He doesn't have like the most flashy kicks or anything like that, but these guys aren't known for their flashy kicks. They want to be able to mix it all together. KM Basics, those guys, they do a really, really good job of that forward pressure when needed, ability to mix it down to the ground if they should need to, with the likes of somebody like Caliber that we're going to see later on as well. I know that that's one of his game plans. Obviously, that is the kind of key to success, I feel, for both gentlemen here this evening, is the ability to mix it all together. These mirror matches really are a reflection of who is the better man behind the sticks, as there is no advantage to lean on. There are no built-in excuses of my character had worse, skill sets and so on and so forth. So we'll have to see who's able to turn out to be the better of the two this evening. KM Basics starting out quickly there, Bane.
Yeah, this is a lot of inside fighting right here through the first couple minutes. KM Basic getting the better of it. Moffat Man out in the championship shorts. KM Basic in the green ones. And you can see right there, Basic landing another crisp combination on the inside, Doc.
Yeah, both of them are using their jab really well, sticking it out, making it known, trying to figure out a distance to then coming on the inside with those hooks and straight. And so far, Basic seems to be having a better job getting those hooks and straights to land.
There's the first. Oh, nice takedown defense. Rolls nicely out of it. Attacks the leg on the return. Beautiful work. Defending those takedowns. Does very, very nicely attack the stamina. So being wary of that. And maybe he's trying to use his grappling in reverse this evening. We saw how dangerous he was trying to take Dirty Dave to the ground in the King of the Calf Grand Prix, which I was not expecting. So the man obviously very, very comfortable wherever this fight goes.
Look at this, Moffat Man now turning the pressure onto KM Basic, commanding the octagon and landing at will. One thing to mention is the 80 switch stance of Brandon, the assassin baby Moreno. Not really something that you want to put him in southpaw, as he is an orthodox fighter. KM Basic, though, choosing to lead with the right hand.
So
In some cases, that's just a better option. You can confuse your opponent, make him mistime the lead hook. Lead hook being in front of that lead hand when you both got the lead hook there, it sometimes works better and makes it more difficult to actually strike against your opponent.
As you say that, Doc, lands a big check right from KM Basic, spinning back kick to the midsection. Also lands right there, Cyrus.
yes, sir. I think maybe what he's what he's identified is that Moffat Man a little bit earlier on was using some side steps off to that side, and now he's obviously just positioned himself so that he's able to use a check hook rather than a rear hook, so it's closer to him and gives less wind up on that hook. But great takedown for him. I think that's the second or third attempt of the first round, and able to secure that one. We'll have to see if he's able to hold out this position, but he has to be careful. Moffat Man is shown to be very, very well versed in these positions.
30 seconds remain in this opening round. Time to just test the reactions and gauge what the opponent's going to do. A little bit of ground and pound right there from Moreno on Moreno. 10 seconds remaining. Bit of a transition right here into half card, Doc.
Well, again, both of them doing a lovely job at building that GA, punching and at the very end gets his top mount. Probably something we're going to see again coming into this future bouts is Basics going to look for that takedown.
We'll say that takedown came off of a body kick attempt from the red corner. We'll say KM Basic now timing that when the kicks are active. Interested to see if Moffat Man will stick to the hands a little bit more in this second set of 5 minutes, Cyrez.
With that being said, though, Bang, you've got to imagine that if there we go. Again, he shoots a lovely takedown off those straight. That's kind of the main way recently you've seen takedown set up. You set up a jab, go for a low single, you go for a double leg, and it's so quick that it's sometimes unreactionable, and it just works very cleanly.
Talking about clean, KM Basic looking like he just came out of a shower with how clean his transitions are right there. Now in half guard, testing out for maybe a top mount once more. Nope, just peppering right into side control. Lots of time to work. Doc, if you're Moffat Man, you have to have some urgency to pop back up to the feet after what was a closely contested first round.
I was going to say the sprawl position was exactly what you wanted, but you want to be a bit quicker on getting up. You don't want to hang around that position, otherwise this is exactly what will happen. They'll either transition to the backside and get you back, or you end up in back clinch and getting kicked in the head or to the legs, which do permanent damage, not just temporary like leg kicks. So they just do a hell of a lot of damage, even though it seems tiny.
One thing to mention now, Moffat Man adjusting, going downstairs, such an advised strategy against Brandon the Assassin Baby Moreno. 88 leg health. If you are able to debilitate either of those legs, could be incredibly successful. Moffat Man doing just that. Left leg of KM Basic severely injured midway through this second round.
On the note of the 88 leg health, that also means that checks do less damage, so it's less risky to throw the kicks themselves.
Right there, now going to the body. KM Basic catches him on the inside. Just coming up on 2 minutes. Clinch not there for Moffat Man. KM Basic backing up a little bit, right? This is where we saw Moffat Man have so much success in the first round when he was advancing and pressuring, being the aggressor. KM Basic pushing forward across the octagon now.
Yeah, KM Basic is doing a lovely job of keeping that defense tight. Here, I have just noticed that his leg health, though, which is probably why he switched stance, is getting a bit low from Moffat Man constantly kicking. Lovely job on that lead hook, but neither of them can seem to find the distance for the takedowns or the clinch attempt for that matter.
I think that Sorry, brother. I think that will be the game changer, though. If Moffat Man is shown to be so good on the ground in some of his past performances, if he's able to get on top, that's his biggest path to success. That chopping of the leg is doing a great job, as you mentioned. But it does look like it seems to be both man's game plan. Lovely slice over into side control right there.
Picture perfect takedown, pushing him against the cage. 40 seconds with which to work. Doc, let's see what Moffat Man can do.
Well, the back flat position is a lovely position. Nearly transitions into half guard, but instead gets his ground and pound landing heavy shots here. He probably wants to stop this, regen the health, and then go for the back flat to KO. But with 20 seconds left, it's probably a waiting game for it now. It's up though.
Interesting choice. Maybe just trying to get off some big damage at the end. He could have just rode those moments out, get a couple more shots off, but. So far, so good. Very, very interesting bout so far. These guys trying to take it every which way they can. Obviously, in that first round, it can be a little bit difficult to find your range. It takes a little bit to work behind the jab, set up those takedowns. I imagine they're going to be feeling a lot more comfortable coming into the third round now as they start to get more and more comfortable with each other's approach. Already starting to rip in the pocket. Moffat Man trying to push that pressure, Bane.
And you can see still going for the leg kicks in this final set of 5 minutes. Beautiful strategy and adjustment through that first round, right? KM Basic had so much success in the first 5 minutes with the hands on the inside. Moffat Man taking the requisite moves and now debilitating the stance of KM Basic. You'd see slight stamina advantage also to the red corner.
The stamina advantage is such a huge advantage to have in this game, man. Taking that, sometimes, a lot of people take that first round off a little bit. It can be a dangerous move to do. I don't think that was the case. KM Basic just had a fantastic round, but like you said, the adjustments have been absolutely massive for Moffat Man. The leg kicks really doing great work for him. You can see it's maybe making Basics a little bit hesitant on the entries, the switcher of the stance, but he continues to go to it. Moffat Man is really committed to those leg kicks and paying dividends, at least in my side.
Yeah, they're playing a lovely job. Both of them low, and they also count as very heavy on the scorecards with significant strikes. So if you're looking to score, which it seems that he's doing a fantastic job at doing that.
Every time Brandon Moreno is having that left foot forward, Moffat Man is taking it down like a lumberjack. Great combination there from KM Basic on the inside, though. Midway through this third, KM Basic needs to do something big to take the momentum away from Moffat Man.
Yes, sir. Man, those leg kicks, they're just relentless right now. There's so many coming at him inside, outside, chopping at them beautifully. Calf kicks, thigh kicks, and you can see them starting to add up, including, you know, even on the right side of things now. Only 2 minutes left in the round, but that's some good work right there from Basics. That may be the adjustment that he needed, Doc.
Yeah, though 2 minutes left, but that's not a long time to work, especially when in my books you probably need a finish. You're looking for submissions, ground pound, just something. Sprawl is in that position when you transfer to back sitting, backside, and just work. Maybe look from the top mount from this position, which he does do, but he's lovely tonight by Moffat Man, making sure to just keep it slow. Yes, controlling straight into that full guard.
Controlling the success of this fight is Moffat Man. Great denials, and now that beautiful transition. 92 submissions and 92 submission defense for Brandon Moreno. Don't think that we're going to see a tap out tonight. Just over 60 seconds remain in this 3-rounder down at 125, Cyrus.
Yeah, so he's doing all he can now on top, trying to get some ground and pound off himself. Honestly, it's been a really, really interesting bout back and forth. The adjustments that were made were fantastic. You can see both guys incredibly well versed. And now the Kimura, I don't know if there's enough time on it. There may be just enough. I think 34 seconds is the mark in which the submissions can be sunk in, at least in a lot of the cases. But the escape may be looking imminent there, Doc.
Yeah, I was going to say, with that being said, even with this time, you got 30 seconds, you've got 10 seconds left, and it looks like this escape's going to be out and simple. And with that, it ends the round.
Very, very interesting through 15 minutes. First 5, in my opinion, goes to KM Basic, but the leg kicks were the story of rounds 2 and 3. You can see right there, Moffat Man just completely dedicating the assault on the downstairs of KM Basic. Have to think 29-28 would be my professional prediction.
Yeah, I think I'd go with that as well. It's going to skip the announcement and go straight to it. Moffat Man picking up that W as we expected. You know, after that performance, an absolutely fantastic fight back and forth. We get to see the statistics there. Look at the significant strikes that were outlanded. There was actually a 30-27. Got the first round as well by the looks of things. Oh, he did. 21 significant strikes. I did not see that in the first round.
Yeah, leg kicks. Leg kicks score so heavy in terms of unit strikes. Like, if you do leg kicks early on or halfway through the game, you end up scoring quite heavily on the scorecards.
Beautiful, beautiful work. That now takes us on to a bout that you had mentioned a little bit earlier on this evening there, Bane. We're going to be having Scythe stepping into the cage up against BST Kenny, a man that's trying to make his name on the circuit, and so far so good for him. Has his work cut out for him though. Tough matchups all round in Primetime MMA. Scythe obviously trying to be the upset this evening. It is in the light heavyweight weight class, and these guys have some heaters in those hands. Very, very heavy hitters. As the weight classes go up, quite obviously, right, Bane?
Oh, truly. I mean, at 205, you have some big power punchers like Anthony Rumble Johnson, Chuck the Iceman Liddell. Could go with a Tito, the Huntington Beach bad boy Ortiz. These guys have power at 205. One punch changes the complexion. Daniel Cormier versus John Bones Jones. BST Kenny has a 2-win advantage over Scythe already. We'll see if that streak continues to 3 or if Scythe can finally get on the board against BST Kenny.
I love his gamer picture. He had Kenny there. Hopefully Kenny may not get killed in this one, but they touch gloves up to start out the first round. Nice little teep opening up from John Jones trying to get it going.
Kenny, can you dig it at 205 with the former light heavyweight standout, John Jones, now getting backed up from the champion, the Olympian, Daniel Cormier.
Exactly what he needs, right, Doc? With Daniel Cormier, your game plan here is get in his face, utilize that boxing and maybe some inside wrestling. John Jones, of course, needs to keep that range. Not exactly the best on the inside with the hands.
Yeah, so far Jones is just backing off, letting DC come to him and then picking his shots. He's done a lovely job, especially at defending. He now probably wants to either look at doing a bit more of this kicking, just work that body, because DC's got a very weak body. So this is exactly how you want to be playing this. Spin into the body, kick into the body, dig into that body. Just make him pay for coming forward.
Beautiful combination right there from Kenny to echo the doctor's point. 89 body for DC. Definitely a target, but we'll say 88 legs for John Bones Jones. If I'm Daniel Cormier, I am winging that roundhouse downstairs. Now clinch entry. Each time DC has tried for a takedown, it has been stopped. Right there, though, DC gets it down, Cyrus.
Yes, sorry, brother. Sorry, I was reacting to the almost flying knee that could have ended the fight very, very quickly. That was a close one, man. He was timing that pretty well, but Daniel Cormier just able to get on the legs quickly enough and secured that takedown. Good work from John Jones to get back to his feet, but I thought there was a mat return. Excellent takedown defense from Kenny.
Kenny
With that
proving
being
that
said,
he-
the constant defense, all the takedowns they've done a massive job to Scythe his stamina as well as that bodywork, and so this so far is looking like it's all Jones's in this fight.
Big kick right there, misses from Kenny. 2 minutes remain in this opening round at 2:05. Daniel Cormier needs to adjust the entries, shooting at a distance. Works right there, though. 1 minute 50 with which to work. Let's see if Scythe can keep Kenny down.
He needs to, brother. He needs to. The simple fact is that if you're working so hard for the takedown, once you've got them to the mat, you need to make everything count. And now he's going for the guillotine. This can be a very, very dangerous submission to get. The defense seems to be a little bit suspect, and the tracking's pretty on.
Uh-oh. Kenny now in a bad position. Transition right there from DC. Escape bar is going up, but that submission is catching him, Cyrez.
Gator rolled over, cinching it up beautifully right now. Looks like the escape is just there, but... I mean,
he may have had a better chance.
That wasn't a bad submission to attempt, though. He got that pretty close, considering it's the first one of the fight. That may have been his best opportunity, though. The stamina definitely looking a little bit suspect, as you alluded to. Big step off into the hook. Oh, that was vital.
Daniel Cormier. You can't count out the Olympian, will say. BST Kenny feeling the thunder and power from the shorter gentleman inside the octagon. Concern might be had in this second round for another submission attempt. Anytime you see a fighter have success with a submission and you track that well in round one, man, I would be really hesitant to let him sink in another attempt.
Yeah, no, you've got to be incredibly concerned about going to the mat now. Jon Jones needs to be all over that takedown defense. The stamina advantage definitely going to play to his favor. Continues to go to that body of DC as well, which, Doc had called out earlier as an absolutely fantastic game plan.
Daniel Cormier wise to the grappling right there. Doc, what do you think DC needs to do with this slight stamina deficit? Great check right, gets the attention of Jones.
So he's attempted takedowns. He needs to go for clinch takedowns. Let's see how Jon Jones copes getting that clinched up, making it dirty. This is seemingly the only way. You need to stay close. You need to make it dirty. Gets a lovely takedown there, though, straight into that half guard position, which is exactly what you want. Probably looks either for a top mount or maybe a side control position, but instead gets a lovely reversal. Jon Jones now on top. This is a scary place for Jon Jones to be, especially with DC only having about an 89, 87 bottom game, I believe.
Bottom control, 89 across both sides. Will stay 95 top control for DC, 93 for Jon Jones. Each guy very adept at maintaining that position when they're postured up. You can see right there some big ground and pound from Jones.
Yeah, the ground and pound, I think, is just, from both guys, whichever one finds themselves on top is going to have absolutely massive amounts of success. There's so much time on the clock as well. Scythe, obviously now finding himself in this position, needs to really, really work it well in order to get that stamina deficit back and start to accumulate some time in his favor. So far, so good as he continues to ride it out after that reversal, Doc, continuing to try and look for that slice over into the side control.
On another note, in that half guard position, he was punching with the hand on the head. That's not a clever idea. It gives you a free pass dropping is a very risky move to do.
Oh,
that ground and pound mode's heavy. Lovely job escaping with that low stand, probably looking dig to that body early on now.
Oh,
that's exactly what he did.
That was a big mistake right there from Scythe. Lost the position and now in trouble. Massive stamina deficit. And you can see Jon Jones still marauding the midsection, brutalizing those baby back ribs, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. I mean, Jon Jones is fighting the perfect game plan up against DC this evening. Scythe obviously having moments of success himself. However, I do say that Kenny is probably ahead in this card, not only in terms of the stamina, but the damage as he gets another pull elbow, Doc. Beautiful work from Kenny.
Yeah, he has been hunting that all around. Every time DC goes to head, he's looking for that pullback, and on every third strike, it's like he's timed it into himself that every third strike is going to be a hook or an uppercut.
It's a good it's a good recognition of a pattern that a lot of online competitive players do have. That first or third strike is normally the ones that you can slip or pull, and Kenny, completely aware of that as he's utilized it perfectly this evening, gets a takedown of his own, says, oh, you're a wrestler, I bet I can take you down.
Jon Bones Jones proving that he is as mixed as they get, but great get up right there from the former Olympian.
Yeah, that man's been practicing his Turkish get-ups and was able to do so right there beautifully. So great second round from Kenny. Didn't get to see the first round statistics, but you've got to think that that's in his favor as well. Very, very uphill battle for DC, at least on my scorecards in this one, Ben. I don't know how you're scoring it, but I think that he definitely needs to finish if he's going to be able to get the W in this one.
Through the first 10 minutes, I do have the former pound-for-pound #1 winning both the first round and second round pretty convincingly, doubling up the significant strikes in round 2. Definitely gives cause for concern. Cormier needs to sell out if he wants to win here. I would say submission is a great opportunity. Gets the takedown right here. Will he follow it?
On the note of the submission, though, that low stam, it makes it very difficult to get any type of stamina. He instead goes to this stack guard position. So you got to think that he's got to look for something other than ground pound here. He's too damaged in that body, too low stam.
Yeah, I think it's just the stamina is too much for him to get some, really, really useful ground and pound off. Anytime he's able to get a good sequence of shots together, then he's going to, be out of stamina. He's not really going to be able to follow it up. These short elbows may start to add up. The crucifix. Now, this is where he can maybe get some work if he's able to stabilize out. But Jones shrimping very, very actively and able to work it back into the side control position there, Bane.
Yeah, you can really see the cogs moving in Scythe's brain, but BST Kenny just wise to so many different things, and he has the advantage in most of these health stats. It's almost panic wrestling from Scythe right here, not really setting up the entries, just sort of gunning for it, and now body even more compromised.
Yeah, the Doc made an excellent observation at the beginning of this. That body health is such a problem for DC players. Going to that often and early can often make them concerned about stepping into the pocket and allow them to... Oh, but once again, the spin gets him caught!
Oh, it's a lovely job just sidestepping it, moving towards that power hand as he spins, just getting that clean hook. That's the only way I feel like he's going to be able to get any chance of doing it.
That is it. The fight is over. 2 minutes not needed on the clock. John Bones Jones takes out Daniel Cormier.
Absolute savagery there, boys. Absolute savagery. Kenny was doing the killing this evening as he sets up that big knee to the body, the uppercut to close the show. Going to be feeling very, very happy with his performance. Was pretty picture perfect over the course of those 15 minutes. And a big, big way to close it out. Look at that uppercut.
And that was an uppercut that he had been doing the entirety of the fight. Off of those takedown entries and clinch opportunities, BST Kenny was concluding them with either an uppercut or a shot to the body. That one, big uppercut to the chin, ended the evening. I'm not sure what the BST camp is feeding their members, but boy, Kenny looked like he was putting it all together tonight, Doc.
Yeah, lovely job by Kenny, making a good read even on the fighter pick. It's not just the fighter sometimes. The fighter pick does have massive influence. Sticking to that body early made such a big impact. Got the stam low, got the body health low. He couldn't put anything together. Plus the takedown defense of Kenny. I'm really looking forward to see how Kenny advances from this win.
Yeah, he did fantastically well. I obviously transitioned it across. It was 2018, 1919 on one, and then 2018 on the other, all in the favor of Kenny. He did a fantastic work all round during that fight. I mean, you're just on point with the takedown defense. The strikes that he was deciding to operate were absolutely perfect. Able to send DC to the land of wind and whispers. Absolutely beautiful display of artistry, in that match for him. They're moving us very, very quickly through these fights, my guys. We're now moving on to our featured fight of the prelims. Going to be having the one and only Guns stepping up against Snap Jitsu. Am I right in saying that that's KM Guns, or am I mistaken right there?
Yes, that's KM Guns. Yeah, he's coming to make his debut back from season 1.
Yeah, because if I'm not wrong, he was previous ICB member, now stepping across with the Kingsman like a couple of the ICB boys did. Absolutely phenomenal competitor, like you said, making his debut from Season 1, coming across into Season 2. Looks like he's going with a Peter Yan pick up against Snap Jitsu, who has the Dillashaw pick. Absolutely beautiful matchup in this Bantamweight weight class, Bane. Going to be interesting to see how these two men get it going with such well-rounded picks.
Absolutely. 4.5 stars on both sides. Each guy's an orthodox fighter. Reach is dead even. We'll say Dillashaw has the slight edge with a 5-star stand-up to Piotr Jan's 4.5 stars. But as we all know, it's about who's controlling the sticks and not maybe the attributes so much. Dillashaw's grappling is a little bit better than Piotr Jan, but man, no mercy can turn it on just like that.
Sits him down, my man. This is what we've seen from Guns in the past. This man, when he gets you hurt, he just does a great job of starting to pick you apart from the outside. We see him stepping in, stepping out, attacking the legs, maybe trying to chamber up one of those combinations on the return. Your turn, my turn. And Guns so far getting the better of these exchanges. Snap Jitsu has to be careful if he's going to be able to make it out this first round there, Bane.
I love how KM Guns is cutting off the octagon, backing up just enough to let Dillashaw think that he can come forward, and then pushing back through with the combination. So much artistry in that mixed martial artist. You can see Snap Jitsu having trouble figuring it out. KM Guns firing off a combination right there.
With that being said, though, you mentioned this is like Guns is saying, this is most of the KM camp. Most of the KM camp know how to pressure, know how to dig that body, know how just to make you pay for trying to pressure them, and this is exactly what you expect. Snap just trying to look for a pullback, trying to look for slips, and he's succeeding somewhat, but Guns is just...
Oh my God, my man! You're absolutely right. These Kingsmen, they have an absolute knack for smelling blood and finding the finish, raining down some big ground and pound, but getting reversed. The stamina a little bit low. TJ Dillashaw is fantastic on top as well, Bane, as he tries to get some G and P himself.
Misses on that first attempt, but does connect with a few shots right there. KM Guns getting denied. Dillashaw, a monster, as you mentioned, at this top game. Let's see if he can make the most of this second ground and pound opportunity. Big frame right there from the Kingsman. Have to think KM Basic unsuccessful earlier in this card. KM Guns wants to sort of rewrite that narrative, bring a W for the Kingsman on Primetime MMA Fight Night 17.
Yes, sir, but Snap Jitsu, as the name would suggest, is well versed on the ground, is picking his shots well in these positions, not giving up this top control. Now, a great job by Guns to regain that half guard. Going to be feeling a little bit more comfortable, but not out of the woods yet there, Doc, as he's still finding himself in a pretty dangerous position under this jiu-jitsu phenomenon.
Yep, he's probably, what Guns wants to do here is look to that full guard, look to maybe fake the feet on hit someone, build up that G8, and then go into a get up or a flip over. In this position, probably a sprawl, then look to make his way back up to the cage. But you have got to be wary of simple denial there. Lovely job getting into that side control with this by Snap.
Once again, KM Guns going to that sprawl, but Dillashaw wise to it. Cyrus transitions around the back, but the get up is there for the Kingsman.
Yeah, I have to say, I mean, on the feet, there is clearly an advantage for Guns over the course of those first 5 minutes as he lands another big front kick at the end of this round. Snap Jitsu has to get this to the mat as quickly as possible in the second round if he's going to have any success, because Guns is just absolutely on fire with those hands tonight.
Seems like he cannot miss. Those fists are magnets from KM Guns, and the chin of his opponent is just a bit of titanium. It's just being attracted right to it. Can't seem to get out of the way. Have to think, though, Dillashaw going to be shooting early in this one to get it down to the grappling realm.
Yeah, you would expect to take down, but by seeing that he's coming out hot, he wants to get those knocked down back. He feels confident somewhat, even though Guns has clipped him on multiple occasions here.
Bit of a stance switch right there for Dillashaw, leading with the right leg. Let's see if the southpaw maneuver is successful for him against the Kingsman, right? As we spoke about earlier, switching stances gives different looks. That first round all orthodox, maybe Snap Jitsu better in this southpaw position, Cyrus.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. I have to say, I would be really, really interested to see him starting to use some feints, because every time he goes, KM Guns is trying to go your turn, my turn. Lands beautifully again! Look at the combo, got him pressed up right against that cage as he's looking to land some maximum damage combinations. Great job from Snap Jitsu to absorb some of those shots and able to survive. But once again, with 3 minutes 20 on the clock, he needs something to turn around and maybe get this fight back to the ground in order to get some success, Doc.
Yeah, well, again, one thing I have noticed from Guns is actually striking. Every time he's got wobbled, he's doubling on the uppercuts. You don't see it very often. It's a very unorthodox thing to do, but it is working to a point of those double uppercuts. Just doing a fantastic job at clipping Dillashaw when he's rocked.
On the point of those uppercuts, Doc, I will say KM Guns relying on that lead uppercut several times to conclude his combinations. Big two right there, though, down the pipe. Snap Jitsu meets the canvas once more midway through the second. Have to mix it up better if that red corner wants to have any success. Surprised that we have not seen a takedown attempt from him.
Yeah, he's right now, Snap Jitsu is kind of entering the pocket like Macy Barber with that jab, just telegraphing every entry, and Guns capitalizing massively. This may be it.
Oh! That's it. What? Snap Jitsu thought that there was going to be another hook, but no, a straight in that guard ends the evening. TJ Dillashaw has been slain tonight by Piotr No Mercy Jan because of KM Guns.
Once again, we see another opponent going to the land of wind and whispers. Able to land some beautiful shots this evening was KM Guns. Absolutely phenomenal work on the feet. Able to, mitigate some of the damage on the ground. There was maybe a tale of two halves when Snap Jitsu got into that top control position. He definitely had huge amounts of success. However, the majority of that fight taking place on the feet. And as you see, 4 stuns, 4 knockdowns, 2 and 2 per round, which is a beautiful, beautiful distribution of work over the course of those 10 minutes.
Definitely a great way to conclude the prelims of this one. But boys, that brings us to the main card, and no better fighter to start things off than, again, the hype train himself, Mike Tran, taking on GSP is GOAT, a staple of the prime time cards.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. GSP is GOAT. Has been doing great work all around, and so has Mike Tran. Like I said, or M Tran, I call him Mike Tran, because you got to get about this, the hype train of this man. He is an absolutely phenomenal fighter, incredibly interesting, great pressure, and moving across to this PlayStation side, with this being his debut on the PlayStation, I'm incredibly interested to see how his skills translate across. From my understanding, the PlayStation side is a little bit more striking heavy, so this may be a perfect place for him to get his best work done there, Doc, as he looks to open up with this Jorge Masvidal pick.
Yeah, McGregor pick versus Jorge. It's a very tight actual fight. Like, McGregor isn't on the 4-star rated, but he's got one of the fastest hand speeds in the weight. He's got one of the best hand speeds and punch power in that weight, even with all the nerfs. So it's a very competitive fight here, and you've got to still be wary of the power of McGregor.
Again, Masvidal, no slouch when it comes to the power domain at 170, 94 power across both sides for each of them. Orthodox versus Southpaw. That right hand of Masvidal going to be firing down the pipe, as well as the left hand of the Irishman through this first minute is all phone booth action, Cyrez.
Yes, sir. No back step so far. They're literally just standing there throwing bombs, trying to use a little bit of head movement and their shots to get some respect. Jorge not backing up at all, as you would expect. M. Tran just trying to get the respect of GSP as GOAT and get him to back up. So far, so good, as he digs to the body, Doc.
Yeah, digs to the body. Lovely job by this is how you want to fight McGregor. You want to get him gassed out first and then work with afterwards. Lovely head kick there as well. Just both of them are doing a lovely job, not staying to boxing, kickboxing, trying up the distance, just trying to see what lands.
Great catch right there from Mike Tran. Have to say, these kicks inside the pocket are concerning. We all know Conor McGregor's power. Great little slip straight as McGregor was going airborne. Big left hand on the inside.
Oh, interesting position. He's got his legs in. Now raining down some ground and pound shots from, I don't know what that is. That's not even considered guard, but beautiful.
Like half flight guard right there, almost. Mike Tran mixing things up that even the developers didn't even know could exist midway through this first round. McGregor has to feel good about the power in that left hand, Doc.
That head kick, powerful, leading on from that. He just got to be wary not to try. As you can see, McGregor's power is that killer. Lovely job on the head movement, comes up top with the head kick, but luckily avoids it.
In the moment of these madness, going to take a moment to shout out Chief Den with the absolutely beautiful sub 1 tier. Appreciate you, my man, as these guys continue to throw down and put on action over the course of these first 5 minutes, Bane.
You can really see how much GSP is GOAT is relying on that left hand leading with it. Big front kick, Masvidal.
Oh my days, man. These guys just throwing some bombs.
Back and forth.
Yeah, what a way to start out the main card. Absolutely zero filler on this event entirely. Killers start to finish as they continue to throw in the pocket. Both guys maybe having some words before this one, because there seems to be some bad intentions behind the shots that they're throwing there.
Everything is significant through the first 4 minutes. Under a minute remains in this opening round. Mike Tran caught once more. Can GSP's go? Oh,
my God. 1, 2 shots. That's all that's needed.
Wow. Mike Tran somehow survives. 20 seconds remain. Doc, the head health on Tran is concerning.
Just spinning heel kick McGregor around the face, I feel like. That may be your best chance here. The boxing, the kickboxing, everything. Just throw some random kick out of there and hope it works.
Yeah, honestly, the back and forth action over that course of the first 5 minutes, I would love to see the statistics. I believe there was maybe 5 or 6 knockdowns or rocks between the two of them. Gonna be an action-packed second round. Very, very little back movement so far. And once again, both guys just kind of content to stay in the middle and start to throw some shots.
Mike Tran could benefit from using straight shots, but oh, the hook from McGregor lands, momentarily stumbles him backwards within the first 30 seconds of this second round. Tran already getting touched up. A little bit of a teep right there, momentarily knocks him down, Doc.
Kicks the legs again. Just leg kicks just for fun, but again, both of them seem to be majorly focused on this type of combo. Mike Tran probably wants to look for a pullback. He's going very heavy for the hooks and stuff like and uppercut. So if you can get a pullback land cleanly, but you have to also be wary of that body kick, because if you pull back wrongly and get kicked to the body, your body health's gone.
Nice front kick from Masvidal as he continues to chamber up these combinations. We saw Ripper in the chat a little bit of a moment ago saying that in Mike Tran we trust, having a little bit of early adversity. Both guys throwing absolute bombs at each other. I love to see it, man. You don't often see two guys that are just so willing to absolutely bang in the pocket. Let me bang, bro could never have been a better expectation of what these two guys are bringing to the table this evening there, Bane.
Truly phone booth fighting through the first 8 minutes. Mike Tran stunned by a big uppercut. Now the body, now the head. Can McGregor finish him? GSP is ramming that fist into the dome of Mike Tran.
Yeah, he wasn't trying to punch him in the face. He was trying to punch through that man's face. Almost able to do so. Mike Tran able to posture off one or two of those shots. Trying to go for a takedown himself, but unable to do so. Excellent defense from GSP as he gets a rock.
That body load gets that stun, and then probably going to jump on top. No, he doesn't.
Compromised stamina from Mike Tran against a laser like McGregor. Now the head getting touched up. This is not looking good for the hype train. Oh, knocked down once again. GSP is looking like a killer through this second round. Now pushing Tran against the octagon. Cyrez, that Masvidal pick is struggling, but lands a good combination on the inside.
Yes, sir, absolutely. Oh my God, man, just the exchanges in the pocket. Both guys' head health is rocking. We see how low the stamina is from Mike Tran as he goes to the body. Once again, GSP GOAT, not wasting any time landing some of these killer combinations.
You can see GSP's GOAT is similarly struggling within the stamina domain, throwing all of those spinning attempts and large strikes could cost him. We all know McGregor's recovery isn't the best at 170. If Tran can stick around until this third round, he'll have a bit more gas in the tank, maybe the fresher fighter off of the stool.
Oh,
that is it! That is it! GSP is GOAT with a massive uppercut from hell to silence the hype train, Mike Tran.
My God, GSP is GOAT, doing the damn thing this evening. Both guys putting on an incredibly entertaining war for us to call to kick off this main card of Primetime Fight Night 17. The big uppercut lands for this gentleman. I believe that was in the second round. Able to close the show out. Excellent work from Conor McGregor. Because let's be fair, I mean, the start of this fight, Mike Tran was marching forward. He got 2 or 3 rocks on the bounce, and then GSP GOAT just says, "No, hold my beer." Started to land some of those, some of those bombs of his own, and did beautifully doing so, Bane.
We'll say that fight was brought to you by Force MMA. Thank you for the Prime subscription. We truly appreciate the support. Doc, unpacking this one again, as Cyrez mentioned, the momentary success of Mike Tran at the beginning was trounced by the consistency of GSP as GOAT. Have to think that left hand looked like it was money for the blue corner.
Yeah, that left-hander was just the power. McGregor's power in general, though, is the key throughout that entire fight. You could every time a trade happened, he would get the better off shot, slot van cleaner, and just cause that head health to slowly go down until you eventually saw the uppercut land flush, and it was the end of it.
Now, guys, I will just take a moment before we go into this next fight. This is one of the fights that we alluded to at the very top of the card there, Bane. We're going to be having one of the biggest esporting names that we've seen in a long time, Papa Lima, KM Lima, stepping forward up against a dangerous AJS the Pug. Both guys having ups and downs on the UFC 4 side of things within Primetime. Both very entertaining fighters that really do live or die by the sword. Obviously, Papa Lima, a little bit more of a striking specialist, and obviously we have AJS the Pug, which is what that habitual ground and pound artist there, Bane, always looking to take his opponent down and just drive their face through the canvas.
Absolutely. Each guy has tasted the highest of highs within the esports competitive scene and has experienced the lowest of lows. Referencing the official betting line, it seems that the crowd is rallying around AJ's Pug, netting around 4,800 channel points. Papa Lemur, the veteran, only getting about 300. Massive underdog. Good opportunity to cash in if anybody wants some primetime points. Papa Lemur only getting 300 is very surprising to me, Doc.
Yeah,
Just to jump in, Doc, I think that maybe it's due to his recent performances, right? I mean, Pablo Lima has had a tough time coming into prime time. He's had some killers that have been put across from him. He's picked up a couple of losses. Obviously, there was a big W for him last time out up against the dangerous Chasemefam. He's going to have to replicate that again this evening. Both guys going with Volkanovski, although I do think that slightly favors somebody of the skill and ilk of Pablo Lima with those beautiful leg kicks. 5-star leg kick, if I'm not mistaken there, Bane, with the Volkanovski pick.
I don't have the official move set in front of me right here. Let me see. 5-star lead calf kick, 3-star calf kick, 5-star lead leg kick. Absolutely. Volkanovski very accredited when it goes downstairs, Doc.
Yeah, indeed. Volko's got a power with a high 93 kick power as well. So 5-star plus that 93 kick power, you're going to end up with like a very heavy solid kick. But that being said, though, it's already just decided to enter the grappling phase. I don't think we're going to see a lot of kicks if it carries on like this.
Well, the thing about it is we've seen this in many performances recently. When you know your opponent is such a specialist in one degree, sometimes taking them to that realm, beating them there first before you start to set up your own. Oh my God!
AJ's the pug with a masterful combination right there, momentarily flooring Papa Lemur. Break check. Papa Lemur is in trouble, Doc.
Yeah, that leg kick's already, that's half health on that leg kick. He's thrown it a bit too many times. It's got checked. And general kick out, and then another knockdown. This is Pug's like through so far. Still 3 minutes left in the round, and he can go. But you'll expect if you're Papa Lemur, you need to do something other than stand there and throw.
AJ's the pug looking like the fan favorite as suggested by the betting line. 3 minutes remain in this opening round, and Papa Lemur has so much work now cut out for him. Debilitated to the head, as well as that left leg, courtesy of a big check. Shin to shin action does not favor the one throwing Cyrez.
Yeah, no, for sure. I will say that right now, AJS the pug, right, coming from that AJS camp, they have unorthodox striking. Sometimes that causes people massive amounts of problems as he goes for the spin elbow into the lead. You see it right there. That's an unorthodox combination to put together, trying to get a little bit wild out there, putting Papa Lima on the, kind of, on the bad end of things. What the? Jesus!
Oh.
This could be it. Papa Lemur crumbled. This is not good. That is it. The pug cashes in as the massive favorite and detonates Papa Lemur in a big way, Doc. Wow.
Yeah, Pug started off strong after that first knockdown. Papa Lemur just kept trying to get a grip on something, but he couldn't. Pug just capitalized when it landed shot after shot after shot. That leg kick check as well did a lovely job at stopping Lemur from doing his main tool. With that, it was the end.
That was just unprecedented from my perspective. Papa Lemur, a veteran of the game. AJ's the pug having no issues tonight. Cyrez, it did look like Papa Lemur never got settled. As Doc mentioned, that early rock just seemed to disrupt whatever momentum or game plan he had prepared.
You know, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, the simple thing about this is that right now, or the thing that we should really take a moment to consider, is that AJS the pug, coming from that AJS camp with some ups and downs in the promotion, has just managed to pick up a very confident win up against a former ESFL champion, I do believe, a gentleman that's shown to have serious skills across the entire esports community. Obviously, he's having a bit of a tough time right now with, that loss right there in particular. AJS the pug came out on fire this evening, decided that he wasn't going to give him any moment to find his feet or get himself going, marched forward and found a way to land everything he wanted, Bane, closing out the show in a very quick fashion.
And that brings us to the next fight of Primetime MMA Fight Night 17 will be High Roller versus Storm. This one's contested at middleweight, 185 action, lot of power up in that division, Doc.
Yeah, a lot of power, but also kind of only one real pick in this. We'll see Whitaker picks like the best pick there. He got a couple others, but as saying Whitaker is arguably the best pick there. He's got the recovery, he's got 92 chin, he's got a lot of general basic kicks and high levels at that. So he's got a level 3 to a level 4 leg kick, same in the body, same with just general shots.
Look at that,
he's
Storm.
Heavy with
Mixing it up beautifully, going downstairs to the legs, midsection, and head. All targets for Storm. Storm in the black shorts of that blue corner. High Roller in the green shorts coming out of that red corner.
Yes, yes, sir. Right now, I mean, maybe he saw the last performances and decided to not give his opponent any single time to start either. Decided to get in his face often and early, landing these shots, both kicks and punches. Quickly go in the way of High Roller. That jab is doing beautiful as well, just interrupting him on everything he's trying to get going. High Roller needs to make some adjustments. Maybe that takedown from the from this man right here. He's got that grappling to go with it, right? I believe that he's was it part of the Australian New Zealand wrestling team? Is Whittaker?
Oh,
the Australian wrestling team. Oh, massive head kick right there from Storm. Love the lead hand work. There was a sequence right there where Storm threw out 3 jabs, a little bit of a left hook, and then into a rear leg kick. Great artistry right there with the hands. Offensive arsenal on point for both competitors, though. High Roller, definitely a guy who can put your lights out at any moment. 2:40 remain in this first round, Doc.
Yeah, again, he's lovely use of that jab, poking, just prodding, and then coming out over with like a hook or just something just to clip, dig into that body afterwards. So far, this is definitely in the favour of Storm. High Roller's having a difficult time trying to land anything or get anything going. So you've got to think that High Roller probably wants to look for a takedown maybe and see how he can go with the grappling.
I agree with that, I agree. I think you need to mix it up when you're getting such early adversity, when your opponent's starting to find that chin time and time again. You can already see the head held. Oh, but there it is! The head kick is what he needed! Best takedown in the game right there, Bane. Best takedown in the game, that head kick.
Sometimes the best defense is the offense. As you can see right there, High Roller can silence your success in just a moment. 90 seconds remain, and Storm, the one meeting the canvas, not something I would have anticipated, but High Roller selective striking, sometimes the best way to go about it. Storm, big check right there, return to the leg kick, Doc.
Oh my god!
Oh, he gets stunned again. Joey and gets another knockdown, going straight into his ground and pound. Heavy ground and pound, a minute left, even when he doesn't get this, and he gets the finish.
High Roller TKO Storm. What a turnaround of events. Storm was the one throughout the first 4 minutes putting it all together. Beautiful striking from that blue corner, but being patient, being composed, finding your moments proves to be the winner this evening. High Roller rolls high tonight, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Weathering that early storm and finding his shots. Beautiful, beautiful work by High Roller, getting the job done. Like you said, that head kick set it up beautifully, then continue to land some nice shots on the inside. Storm not able to overcome that comeback from him, and, you know, very, very quick, that fight. Back and forth, I'm sure these guys will meet each other down the line at some point, but tonight is all about High Roller with that fantastic adjustment and an excellent turnaround, Doc. Just absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it was a lovely job getting that head kick to begin with and then just capitalising on it and keep going and going. As soon as that knockdown happened, he was just away with the win there. Lovely job by Horo, just making that comeback, changing it around and just doing a fantastic job.
So just as a little bit of a back information for you, they did switch across to the statistics at the end of the round. Of course, 1 stun, 2 knockdowns from High Roller. However, almost 10 more significant strikes landed in that first round from Storm. You know, he came forward like an absolute wrecking ball at the beginning of that fight, but the adjustments made by High Roller was just a little bit too much, and that man's going to be feeling absolutely on top of the world, able to overcome that early adversity. Those are the fights that, you know, really, really give you the biggest amounts of confidence, because it's not just a blowout. Your opponent wasn't just not on your level. They simply, you know, simply had to make the adjustments, and that really, really shows the ability to take your game to the next level there, Bane.
And talking about next level, we move onwards and upwards to our next fight of the evening, the Body Snatcher Degree Big E versus Satchmo Life. This one's going to be contested at 155, and correct me if I'm wrong, but Big E is the founder of the Body Snatchers. Is that incorrect?
Oh, I'm going to defer to Doc on this one. Is that right, bro?
I'm unsure. I think Gendo is. I think Gendo and Bang Bang are the original members.
Gendo and Bang Bang, fair enough.
I could be wrong.
If you know in the chat, I know those guys are in the chat, please let us know. But nevertheless, Big E, definitely one of the namesakes of that BSD camp, who have shown time and time again, Bane, to be a very, very dangerous set of opponents. Has to mind all of his P's and Q's this evening, though. Looks like, you know, being up against Satchmo Life, who is absolutely zero slouch, likes to talk a lot of trash, get in your face, in and out of the cage, and get that work done.
Satchmo Life, definitely a guy who has a big mouth, but walks the walk as much as he talks the talk. You can see El Kukui right there giving it to Big E early. Just in the highlight, Gaethje has that knockout power, but the defense of Satchmo Life is confusing him through the first minute, Doc.
Yeah, well, Ferguson's got cardio, stam, a chin. However, he doesn't have legs, which is probably the best idea if you're Gaethje to start kicking his legs. Aim up, headhunt with the punches, make him scared of that head, but then just stick to those legs and make this a dirty, gritty fight. This is what you're going to be doing against the Fergie. You don't want to be playing the long game.
Oh, bit of a side kick right there. Momentarily stumbles the highlight. Each guy a former interim champion. 3 minutes and 30 seconds remain through this first round. Check right from Ferguson. Gets the attention of Big E. Oh!
Tony Ferguson getting that damage off early. Satchmo Life not wasting any time trying to get the work in. Every single fight tonight has been an absolutely fireworks from the get-go. I think this is where Satchmo Life is going to be able to do his best work, though. Mixing it all together just like that, Bane. Able to get it straight to the ground with 3 minutes left on the clock.
El Kukui is nothing but a nightmare on the ground. 3.5-star grappling for the highlight. 4.5 for Ferguson. Bad news if you're on the bottom with him on top. 2:30 remaining in this opening round. Doc, what do you think Justin needs to do?
He just needs to get up. He needs to create that distance. He needs to start using that power instead of just allowing. Lovely job out of the middle there. Satchmo now digging down to that body, just hoping to land some clean shots. This is kind of the way Satchmo wants to do it. He wants to play the stand game. You can play it with Ferguson. You can play it really well.
Big shots right there on the inside from Big E. Oh! It is impeccable, the mixing up that Satchmo Life is doing with those leg kicks. Again, as mentioned, 89 leg health for Justin Gaethje. Each guy a little bit sort of weaker downstairs, but Gaethje the one being more effective. Great combination right there from him, Cyrus.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He is doing an absolutely great job trying to come back and forth in the pocket. Right now, honestly, it does look like it's all Satchmo, but it doesn't take too many from one of the hardest hitting 155ers in the world. Justin Gaethje throws with absolute bad intentions. Good Khabib talk about it recently on the Hot Boxing Show. That man seriously has some heaters in those hands there, Bane.
ETH World in the Twitch chat suggesting prime Tony. Satchmo Life really reminding us what Ferguson was like in his prime, busting up the chin of Gaethje right here. You can see a small laceration on the bridge of the nose. I believe Doc crucifix for Ferguson.
Yeah, well, this is a good place to be with Ferguson on the ground, making sure that Gaethje can't get the power. Goes into this clinch, probably looking to maybe need legs just so, but instead goes for the headshot. Now try gets that though, and Satchmo gets it knocked down at round one. Probably
what?
Possibly securing the round.
That was a massive uppercut. You could see very similar to sort of how their fight played out in real life. I think it was end of round 2 when Ferguson floored Gaethje with that massive uppercut. Bit of a reverse of the situation here tonight. A lot of momentum going to Big E in this second set of 5 minutes, Cyrus.
Yes, I mean, honestly, back and forth as you would expect, he needs to get something going quite big. I mean, the simple fact is, though, that when Gaethje starts to land, he lands so big that it changes the complexion of the fight really at the turn of a hat. Satchmo continues to go to those unorthodox movements, those unorthodox kicks, trying to dig to the body, those spins to the head, Doc. Superman punch as well. Putting it all together this evening is Satch looking very good.
One thing to
Satch
mention.
Fantastically well. But you have got to be wary that you can't trade with the power of Gaethje. And what do you expect? I don't know what Satchmo needs to do, but he needs to do something other than what he's currently doing, happily striking here.
I think that as we saw in the significant striking stats right there, I don't know if it was significant or total, but 50 to Ferguson, 43 for Gaethje, so slight edge to El Kukui in that one. I'd say volume is probably his biggest bet. Try to drain Gaethje with just, as you mentioned earlier, the stamina battle, war of attrition. Absolutely fingers. That big right.
That's what we were calling right there. Once he's got you hurt, the damage just continues. Body and health absolutely obliterated right now. Goes for the Imanari roll.
It's an Imanari roll there.
Eddie Bravo asking for a level change, and he gets it.
It's a tight situation.
Eddie Bravo going to be proud of that one, even if he's not able to get the position, able to reset the forward momentum of BSD Big E. You can already see him start to feather that LT, trying to make sure that he blocks the takedown again. But once again, Satchmo sees that and decides to go back to the face, having huge success doing so. Both guys landing big shots on each other there, Bane.
That one looked like it was going to the midsection, came upstairs instead. Big E catches it on the side of the head. Lead overhand for Satchmo Light. Again, this guy mixes it up better than most at UFC 4. Really can't anticipate what he's going to throw next. 2 minutes remain in this second round. Big E feeling the thunder and lightning from Ferguson.
Well, that being said about what earlier with the war attrition, it definitely seems like Gaethje's winning that war attrition. Ferguson's health is low, his legs low, his head's low, and power of Gaethje, I'm expecting that to get lower. Flying knee attempt by Ferguson and another leg kick landing cleanly.
I'm loving the leg kicks there, Bane, from Justin Gaethje, but I'm also loving the work that Satchmo is doing with these spins up until right there as he gets sat down, brother. Jesus.
You can see there, Big E is such an assassin when there's blood in the water. Apex Predator, but another Imanari roll from Ferguson. El Kukui rolling his way into what could potentially be a fight-ending submission. Escape bar getting a lot higher than that submission bar, though, Cyrez.
That is correct. That is correct. It does get considerably better after that 25% margin. Obviously, the escape now imminent. Over into the side control position. Although he may not have the jits to go with it, he does have some brutal ground and pound and some wrestling. Good work from Satchmo Life to roll across and avoid that elbow, making sure that none damage able to come his way at the end of this round.
What an interesting first 10 minutes to this one. Third and final round at 155. El Kukui versus the highlight. Have to think Satchmo Life needs to find an answer to the massive power of Justin Gaethje's. Slight edge and the stamina goes to the highlight.
When you've got stamina on your side and you've got the power of Justin Gaethje, that can be hugely problematic. But with that being said, they're actually very, very even and pretty much across the board. The right leg of Ferguson may be a little bit more compromised than anything else in terms of like the total amounts of damage being distributed. But Big E's landing some good work on the inside, really, really putting together his boxing, keeping it simple and having a lot of success with it there, Doc. Jesus, sits him down.
Overhand gets straightened down. Ground and pound, Ferguson dodges it, goes to that top mount position. Attempts an armbar, low stand by the Gaethje, so it's completely viable and could be the fight ender he's looking for.
Gaethje's last out.
High escape mode is not having fun time, and this is getting.
It definitely interesting for Satchmo to go for these submissions when relatively no success within them, but still control time is control time. However, you would think that Satchmo wants to make it known that the hands is where he's going to make the biggest impact. Unsure how to judge this one with the amount of knockdowns that we've seen.
Yeah, it can be difficult to judge these ones. Back and forth action. You've got a couple of good submissions, a lot of knockdowns on the side of Justin Gaethje, of course. Not to forget that I believe that Tony Ferguson had some in that first round as well. We'll have to see which way the judges' scorecard if they manage to make it out of it. But now back to the feet. That absolutely halves the opportunities of this going to the judges' scorecard. Both guys have massive, massive power in their hands and trying to make sure that they take Adelaide Bird and the rest of them out of it as quickly as they can.
You don't want to see Saul D'Amato ringside in a fight like this. Who knows what's going to happen? Wow, this is bad for Satchmo Life. Head health is incredibly compromised. Big E knows it. Off of this break, we could see a finish. Massive cement hands from the highlight.
Yeah, he put a donk on it right there. Combinations, put it all together, sat him down, now pressing forward. 1 minute. Both guys double rock.
Double rock, now Satchmo pushing forward. 90 seconds left in this contest. Big E tasting the hands of El Kukui.
That's the
block of Ferguson's really low, so he only needs to land a couple of jabs and then he can sneak his hook past and probably lands cleanly. He doesn't even need to do that and just lands a right hook.
You see the defense on point from Satchmo there, though, Bane. Absolutely perfect posting to stop those ground and pound opportunities.
But this is not what you need when you are coming into the final minute of this fight. Satchmo Life meets the canvas once again. This third round, have to think and go to Big E, and again, this has to be it. The body snatcher snatches the body. 30 seconds not needed. Ferguson asleep, Cyrez.
Taking him out beautifully. Just the power that was on display, the precision of those shots, the shot selection at the end, absolutely perfect. The game changer for Justin Gaethje as we see him do the big backflip off the cage. Beautiful work for BSD Big E, picking up a big W for the BSD lads. Look at that elbow, sits him down. The ragdoll was beautiful.
Wow, and you could see the hammer fists ultimately ended El Kukui. That elbow came from the rear, but announced itself in the front onto the head of Tony Ferguson. And massive respect to both competitors. Neither guy was going away easy. We know and love Satchmo's approach to fights. You really have to take him out of there to get the W, and that's exactly what the body snatcher Big E did. Wonderful win for him to secure this on the main card of Primetime MMA Fight Night 17.
Beautiful work all around, my man. Beautiful work. This was a fantastic fight. Both guys bringing all the actions. In fact, every single fight has delivered this evening, my man. Not wasting any time, getting their hands going, making sure they're mixing it all together. We've seen a nice, well-diverse set of skills on display throughout the entire event. That does take us, however, to Force MG up against Don't Wrestle Me. An interesting name, as we've seen a lot of wrestling from this man in the opening going, but understandably so. You know, he seems to be very, very talented there, so we'll have to see if that's maybe his game plan going into this one up against a dangerous man in Force MG. PlayStation, a bit of a different scene as well, of course. As I mentioned, I have not played over there on myself, guys, but from what I understand, it is much more of a striking heavy, console, I suppose I should say. We do have our champion Styles that, of course, that is, an absolutely phenomenal grappler. There are absolute levels to this game, but we do often see absolute barn burners when it comes to the PlayStation side. Just every single one of these guys has been working on their hands, Bane, and, really being able to put it all together.
Definitely, either console, whether it's a Microsoft-based one or a Sony-based one, you have to be well-rounded. Have heard similar things, at least on the PlayStation, with the striking, the buttons, the smoothness of it allows for quicker combinations. But either way, it doesn't matter whether or not there's a slight edge, because it all comes down to who is behind the characters. Cruz versus Jan down at 135.
Beautiful picks. Dominic Cruz has the signature movement. He's going to have to utilize that very, very effectively if he's going to be able to evade the big power technical shots of Peter Yan. Like you say, it is about who's behind the sticks. I've heard very good things about Force MG doing the damn thing so far, but Don't Wrestle Me, he's had some great performances of his own. That's why he's finding himself in such a, kind of highlighted position within this Fight Night card. Starting out very quickly, both guys trying to work in the pocket. Triple hooks from Force MG.
And great takedown, double changing.
Well, Cruz does have a very good wrestling base.
The statistical differences in the punching power, as mentioned, is large. 9-point differential. Dominic the Dominator has an 86 punch power rating. Piotr No Mercy Jan at 95. Massive advantage, as you can see right there. Big ground and pound, Cyrus.
Yes, a lot of beautiful work from him. I mean, says don't wrestle me, but he's the one that shot first, now finds himself on bottom, gets the reversal, which is great work by him, but I thought he was about to get reversed himself. I thought I was going to say scramble after scramble, but able to hold out this position is Dominic Cruz, and I think this is where you want to be early there, Doc. If you're Cruz, make sure to build up some of that lactic acid in Peter Yan's hands and arms to make sure that he's not able to get some of those big power shots off on the feet in such an early part of this fight.
Oh! Body lock takedown right there, Doc.
Yeah, no, Cruz is doing a fantastic job working in the takedowns, now looking for a submission. Probably wanted to deny. He needs to at least get this past this first section, otherwise BTM will just get an easy flip. He did cancel it though. It's probably a dumb mistake. As you can see, he goes straight into this, probably looking for a full guard now, I'd imagine. Especially since he wants to keep it on the ground, a full guard maybe. But I'm not sure. What would you say, Ben?
Definitely interesting transitions right there. Again, as you mentioned, Cruz very well rounded on the grappling, 4 stars overall, but so is the former Bantamweight champion, Piotr No Mercy Jan. So I think it's more of just testing out this first round. Midway through it, you want to gauge the reactions in all aspects of the game. If you only get a feel for the striking as we conclude round 1, then who knows, maybe we'll be disadvantaged in round 2. So great options for both competitors to see who is better in all areas. As you can see in the striking round, Force might be having a slight edge, Cyrus.
That being said, Force has done a fantastic job just working, keeping that pocket, holding close, whilst Cruz is having difficulty even trading. As you said, that 9-point punch power difference is the main issue. Does attempt to take on his own, gets nearly head kicked in the face with that jab straight, dig straight down to the body bone. One of these need to change up their striking game plan, I feel like.
You know, I think whenever you choose Dominic Cruz, you have to really make the most of the unconventional movement. Great level change and takedown there from Don't Wrestle Me. But, you know, there's just a lot of conventional back and forth movement. I really want to see those sways because that's what makes Cruz the pick at 135 if you know how to use them. So far, it's been all Force NG on the feet, courtesy of that movement. Great transition, though, from Cruz. 30 seconds remain. Let's see what he can do with it.
He actually goes for the side control. That's interesting. Not with a lot of time. I mean, maybe he's trying to work those short elbows, possibly going for a postured up position, able to stop the transition, which is very, very nice. It was pretty late, but now the GMP getting rained down. Good job on posting a couple of those shots, able to mitigate some of that damage as they close out that first round, Doc.
Yeah, lovely job by Cruz, taking it down, holding it down, and then slowly working a couple of weird transitions, like you said, at the very end, top man into side control. Bit less time there, so that may just be one of those things where he's just trying to get more position over damage. That being said, though, Jan did a fantastic job striking, coming at him very hard. As you can see, outstruck him, probably actually won the round because of it.
Yeah, I mean, you've seen the significant strikes adding up in the side of the blue corner. Those significant strikes do definitely play very, very heavily in terms of the judges' scorecards, but I'll be honest with you, I don't expect us to get there. Both guys still trying to go very, very actively in this second round, opening up with a number of leg kicks, exchanging in the pocket, I should say, Bane, trying to get this work done as quickly as possible.
This is definitely a lot of activity from Piotr No Mercy Jan early in this second round, rather. You have to think the wrestling of Please Don't Wrestle Me has been a factor. He's been able to get it down to the mat. Force NG, though, largely controlling these striking exchanges. A lot of power once more from the Russian.
Oh, lovely work combinations for days. Dominic Cruz coming to life tonight.
How did Force NG eat that head kick? What a chin on the former champion.
Yeah, I've heard he's been wrapping his feet up for days leading up to this fight, making sure to work on that footwork, coming in beautifully this evening. That and the hands combinations. Couple of missed takedown attempts, but the hands is all there for him right now. I almost say to him, stay on the feet, continue to do your work, my man, because you're giving him all sorts of problems.
Interesting. A bit of denial there. Bit slow on transition. Gets the top man position off that denial, and now Jan's got some fantastic ground and pound. This is probably what you want him, whilst Cruz is probably looking at half guard.
No Mercy now going to work. Oh, beautiful.
Narrowly avoids it. That head health is low.
Dominic Cruz does come equipped with a 92 chin, somewhat lower compared to the 94 chin of the former Bantamweight champion. No Mercy Jan really not giving Cruz any mercy tonight, Cyrus.
Yeah, no mercy at all. Continuing to pressure forward, landing significant strike after significant strike. Don't wrestle me, using the hand on the head to elbow him in the face. Not a great idea against a man that's continuing to posture up and land bombs back in return as he goes to doing so right now. Heavy shots.
You have to find an answer, right, Doc? 90 seconds remain. Dominic Cruz needs to pop out of this position. Oh, No Mercy Jan lets him back up.
That's the thing,
he probably
though.
wants back for a stun, but a minute left. I don't know.
That's the thing about Bity Jan. I mean, you got to expect that he's going to have the advantages on the feet with the power, with the chin, with the absolute forward pressure that he's putting on here right now. He got rocked a little bit earlier on, but after a little bit of ground and pound, we know how that changes the tides. That knee marginally missing as Dominic Cruz goes for the takedown once more, able to secure the half guard. Only 30 seconds left on the clock, but I think that was a good move from him. The damage was starting to come his way. Bity Jan was getting very, very active once they got back to the feet.
Absolutely. One thing to mention, though, of course, when these grappling exchanges have occurred, it seems to be Force MG getting the better of them with reversing, transitioning, and then landing that vicious ground and pound on the head of Dominic Cruz. You can see the lacerations on the left side of the eye. Now a bit of a cut on the right side. Cruz, the dominator, is kind of getting dominated through the first 10 minutes. Let's see in this third and final round at 135 if the former champion can show up and show out against No Mercy.
Yeah, this is a third round all to play for. I'd love to see the stats, and we're about to see them. Thank you, brother. Thank you. I love that.
Wow! 17-4 in significant strikes. Doc, that is a disparity if I've ever seen one.
I was thinking, coming to the end of the second round, that he kept backing up. He was doing well in striking, backed up, and then Cruz started taking control. I'd expect in this round, I want to see Jan put that pressure on and non-stop. Don't back up. Don't give you, because Cruz can't. He keeps getting stuck against the cage. So if your opponent's stuck against the cage, keep on that pressure. Just keep winging shots him, and you're eventually going to clip him, as you can see.
Yeah, and I mean the simple fact is there, Doc, that Force MG in the hands of, with the fighter pick of Peter Yan has the higher durability. Although he got rocked at the beginning of the second round, he's been able to recover very, very nicely and now landing big shots of his own. So continuing this momentum probably going to mean that he's going to win every exchange should he decide to stay in the pocket and start to absolutely throw bombs with Don't Wrestle Me. But these are some good answers back there.
You know, it's interesting. Don't Wrestle Me has had flashes of offensive brilliance. Again, we have to think about that combination that stunned Force MG in that second round. But again, it seems like Dominic Cruz is not the correct pick for him. He's not utilizing a lot of the movement that makes Dominic Cruz the pick. Big two right there from No Mercy.
Trying all he can. Dominic Cruz sensed an opportunity with stamina to press forward, but that may have been a bad choice. He needs to back up, needs to get on his bike and try to find a couple of moments to survive this. There's still 3 minutes on the clock, and Force MG is trying to get the show closed out. Once again, he gets the rock, my man.
Oh my gosh, Cruz is down. Big lift hook from No Mercy. Kenyon finish him right here, right now. That's it. That is it. MG pounds out Don't Wrestle Me.
Ooh, my God, these guys throwing everything at each other this evening. That was a beautiful, beautiful war back and forth. Force MG able to get the damn thing done, putting out Don't Wrestle Me. But you've got to think, man, like you said, flashes of brilliance from Don't Wrestle Me on the feet and on the ground. But just got a little bit overwhelmed, and I think that you were absolutely right in your assessment, Bane. I think that was due to maybe not utilizing the full movement of Dominic Cruz. He has such beautiful signature movements that allow you to evade some of those big power shots, not utilized fully this evening, and walking onto a couple of big shots that put him out. May have lost him for a moment, but with that being said, my man Doc, that takes us straight on to the next one. It's going to be the co-main event of the evening. One of the fights that we alluded to at the very, very top of the card, going to be BSD Pudgy, one of the namesakes of Primetime, always up there, a continued contender within the promotion. He may pick up a couple of losses to the top of the top. However, when he finds his opportunity, any single person that's trying to get themselves up into those rankings, he sends them back home very, very quickly. Although he does have his work cut out for him this evening with a very, very dangerous KM Caliber.
Well, with that being said, KM Caliber got one of the first knee bars in Primetime history back on our pay-per-view card. So this is a fight to look forward. You got pressure. KM's also known for their striking. We saw KM Guns earlier with his striking outcome of just constant pressure. I'm expecting the same from Caliber, and Pudgy and BSD Pudgy is also known for the same. So I'm expecting nobody really to step forward, and Pudgy seems to pick Cub Swanson pick.
Right, so yeah, I'm going to be straight with you. The fact that he's picked Cub Swanson, there's not any favorites, right? I'm not going to back anybody, got to be impartial, but Cub Swanson can't lose a fight. So, with that being said, KM Caliber's really going to need to put it all together. I find that from my past experiences fighting these two absolute killers, they often light me up in every single such way. KM Caliber's a man that really likes to mix it together, utilize the striking and the wrestling to the full effect. Although that may be a little bit difficult there, Bane, with Conor McGregor, not exactly known for those double or single legs.
No, have to mention again, the stand-up is where the bread is buttered for Notorious at 145, 98 punch speed, 96 punch power, and 99 accuracy. Killer Cub has his work cut out for him, but if anybody can do it and make SoCal the victor, it will be Pudgy in this featherweight contest. Co-main event coming up here. Dan Murgliata, the third man of the octagon, to get us started. Man, good to see Killer Cub inside the Primetime octagon.
Yes, sir, that beautiful destruction is going to be on full display, win or lose. Never a dull moment when Killer Cub is in that cage, going to be looking to work those leg kicks. You've got to imagine up against that wide stance of Conor McGregor, cannot afford to stand in the pocket, as the chin can get a little bit compromised pretty quickly with the power of that man right there.
Well, so far, early leg kicks, done a fantastic job of digging to the body, digging to the head. He's just trying to see how his range goes and just seeing what he can land.
This is phenomenal lead appendage work from KM Caliber early here, right? Testing out with that side kick, lead leg kicks. That right hand is just connecting on the chin, waiting to see if he can land that left.
trying to be fast, trying to utilize the reach advantage that he has. If you are Pudgy, you need to start utilizing those switch stances of Killer Cub. Make sure to really, really become unorthodox. He has fantastical kicks that he can bring out of all sorts of angles, whether it be to the leg, whether it be to the head, or even that spin to the body. But right now, Caliber's combinations and timing seems to be on another level, Bane.
This is not what you can do if you're picking Cub Swanson. You can't take pictures. You can't move forward like you're the Korean Zombie. You have to grapple a bit. You have to mix it up with Killer Cub. I'm surprised that we haven't seen a takedown attempt through the first 2 minutes from Pudgy.
Yeah, I think I agree with you right there. And one of the things about Cub Swanson is he basically doesn't have the best doubles or singles, but those clinch takedowns are pretty on point from the man. Has absolutely phenomenal judo throws. So maybe look for him to clinch up his opponent given the opportunity. But the problem is closing that range, Doc, with that absolutely blistering straight from KM Caliber in the hands of Conor McGregor.
He's having such a difficulty just trying to get on the inside. Throwing leg kicks, getting them checked. He goes to try anything and he just has that straight right on the head, just going blistering through anything he throws.
KM Caliber doing a fantastic job of neutralizing anything Pudgy is getting going, and that's a lot of that's unpacked by this suffocation inside the octagon, really cutting off the cage. Pudge hasn't been able to take a step forward past that black line. There, jab, hand plant, roundhouse, not really there, allows Pudgy to come forward for a moment.
Yeah, I mean, the longer that this fight goes, as long as he's able to mitigate the damage, it will actually start to go into the favor of Cub Swanson. His recovery definitely on the better side of things, but he has to be careful of this damage starting to add up. He is definitely more of a hammer than he is a nail. Once the chin is compromised, it can be very, very tough work to get something going with the Killer Cub.
Loving the adjustments that Pudgy's trying to make with the kicks, right? Staying at range has worked in small amounts for him through the first 4 minutes of this fight, but KM Caliber is the one that is pressing all of the action and doing the majority of the damage.
You say that and he gets a stun, digging over the top, gassing himself out, just trying to make some type of knockdown with that. 20 seconds left in the round, either way, still a fight to contest for, but so far it seems to be Caliber's mainly using that jab straight, keeping that distance. Pudgy's having a bit of difficulty getting in. He's starting to use a bit of head movement now, but maybe a bit too late within the first round.
That was a savage body kick, Bane, that he ripped off at the end of that round.
Pudgy had a little bit more urgency to get the offense going, pushing KM Caliber back against the octagon, and that opened up, as you mentioned, a savage, brutal body kick that got the attention of Pudgy. As he's going back to the stool, that liver might be a bit liquefied as we approach the second set of 5 minutes, but you have to think the most significant moment was that rock from Killer Cub Swanson. Damn, getting started for round 2.
That's the thing about Killer Cub Swanson. The man is never out to fight, has very, very unorthodox combinations and strikes that he can put together. A takedown attempt from Pudgy to open up the second round, defended beautifully by Caliber, pressing him up against that cage, maybe trying to utilize some elbows square to the nose of Killer Cub, but so far so good. The defense seems to be on. He's walking away, trying to peel himself away from that clinch, and does so. 4 minutes left on the clock. Both guys have very, very dangerous striking, Doc. Gonna have to be who's able to get that off going quickly, and it looks like it's Caliber with the jab doing absolute wonders for the man.
Yeah, that jab is just, he's working it. Leading with that lead hook is just the money here. Dig into that body, dig up to the top. Try a head kick, maybe sneaks it straight through the block afterwards. But again, Caliber's taking it slow, steady. This is exactly how you want to fight. Even if Cub doesn't have power, doesn't have anything really noteworthy to possibly damage McGregor, you still got to respect the fighters using them.
Pudgy going into the fire and flames with the pocket of McGregor. Again, not really an advised strategy. Had a couple nice double elbows on the inside. Great leg kick right there. Would like to see more of that. I just want Pudgy to mix it up a little bit better, right? The defense is somewhat on point, right? But as I say that, Pudgy eats a massive from the Irishman.
Yeah, it's a tough old fight, fighting up against a Conor McGregor as a Cub Swanson, but Pudgy's trying to do what he can, as you mentioned, maybe a little bit more variation in his approach, maybe the way to go, a couple of feints in his opponent's face, but so far so good for Caliber as he continues to utilize that jab to just beautifully measure that range and rain down some absolutely savage shots.
This is the definition of Cub Swanson's game plan just not getting implemented. You can see Cam Caliber now opening up on the inside. This is bad news for Pudgy. Pudgy pushing forward. Cam Caliber gassed himself just a little bit overextended. Big jumping knee!
Caliber really putting it all together right here. Look at that right there, just getting a little bit flashy. He has to be careful not to get a little bit overzealous with it. Clutch is, well, Clutch in these positions always finds the, you know, the mind force to dig deep and find the opportunities for the finish, no matter how hurt or damaged his character may be. Although Caliber so far has been able to just absolutely perfectly pick his shots.
How many times have we seen a fighter who's winning get KO'd off of a big attempt that misses and then a right hook connects to their chin? This is do or die to some extent for Pudge because his chin's just not really there.
No, Pudgy just narrowly avoiding the uppercut coming down. And Caliber seems to be half gassing himself out from just trying to finish Pudgy.
Oh!
Beautiful, beautiful work.
I don't know how Pudgy is able to stay up and survive all of these attempts. It seems that he's eating and swallowing every strike from KM Caliber. Great kick right there. Caught from Pudge. You can see the bridge of Cub Swanson appears to be broken as we approach the third and final round at 145 in the co-main event of Primetime MMA Fight Night 17.
It's breaking my heart, my man. It's breaking my heart seeing Cub hurt like this, but I'm hoping that he's able to get something going here because right now, Caliber is absolutely running away with it. I think that was 28 to 4 significant strikes. Don't know if that was in the round or over the totality of the entire fight, but honestly, Caliber is actually looking like a different beast this evening. I know that the advantage is obviously in his favor with that Conor McGregor pick, but just the way that he's using it, Bane, is absolutely perfect. Look at that check hook.
This is bad news for Pudgy early in round 3. 5 minutes remain. Can Pudgy stay up? No! Big check right floors him momentarily. Killer Cub needs to find that killer instinct if he wants to be victorious tonight. This is all KM Caliber.
Yeah, trying to use the head movement, trying to look for some big counters, going for that little feint into the head kick. So far, Caliber has been able to just stay so composed on every moment, not allowing his opponent an opportunity to get back into this fight as he defends that takedown beautifully, pressing him up against the cage, raining in some knees to the already damaged cardio of Killer Cub Swanson, Doc.
Lovely job by Caliber, just working the block, working the head, just everything. He's done a fantastic job here.
Great takedown defense to boot as well. KM Caliber really putting on a performance in the co-main event here tonight. Don't think McGregor's been taken down in this one through 12 minutes. If Pudgy can maybe find a better entry, great clinch work right here. And he gets it, but KM Caliber still perfect on the takedown defense.
Yeah, I think that's 100% takedown defense. Oh my God, that was an opportunity to send him to hell right there. Misses the kick. Maybe a missed opportunity for Killer Cub. It's obviously a lot easier to be said. You can be hesitant when you're this damaged, your stamina's this low.
Wow.
You've got to really pick your shots, but finding himself so pressured up against this cage, Caliber absolutely swarming there, Bane.
You know what? Conor McGregor looking a lot like Yair Rodriguez with all the spinning attempts and flying kicks. Notorious going airborne a lot in this one, but Pudgy connects on the inside right there, but eats a massive rear roundhouse body kick. Just over 90 seconds remain. Doc, it is tough to see how Pudgy can find a W in this one.
Oh,
with that body rock as well. Very low stand, literally on the stand bar now. And Pudgy just trying to survive for a minute and a half. We mentioned Caliber's performance here, but Pudgy's surviving. He's taking these shots and he's nearly gone to a decision against McGregor's come to launch. That's impressive. And
oh my fuck, man, that is brutal. Going to that body over and over again, then back to the head. The shots are raining through. Absolutely beautiful work by Caliber, Bane, and you've got to imagine that the blood is just getting sprayed everywhere at the moment. The damage is stacking up and this. Oh, there it is.
What a merciful ending to what turned into a vicious beatdown at the end of this 145-pound contest. The Kingsman Caliber absolutely detonates a bomb on the chin of Pudgy. Valiant performance from Killer Cub Swanson. Always loves seeing SoCal grace the octagon with his presence, but it just was not enough in this one tonight, Doc.
It was... Yeah. There's not much can be said. Caliber took that round, he came out clean, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah, he started quickly, brother.
Pudgy and his survival.
I mean, look, yeah, you don't want to say too much. We know Pudgy's going to be back better than ever. He took the pick of Killer Cub Swanson, which we rate very highly. However, just the absolute precision from Caliber this evening, utilizing his striking to the maximum effect, was a beautiful sight to behold. Although it did hurt my soul, made me cry a little bit on the inside. Very difficult to commentate over Killer Cup Swanson receiving that sort of beatdown, but you've got to imagine that Caliber and the KM boys are riding high after that one, Bane, as it takes us into this main event.
Yeah, that was a great performance from the Kingsmen. Really got things back on track. But going from the KM camp to the EK camp in the main event of Primetime MMA Fight Night 17, the Elite King Jakey versus the Body Snatcher in T Drivers.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's going to be a big one. We know how dangerous. We mentioned it at the very, very top of the card. Of course, EK Jakey, an absolutely phenomenal grappler on the mat. He really, really can cause problems for absolutely anybody in those positions. T Drivers, from the Body Snatcher's degree, definitely more of a striking namesake, allows himself to find those beautiful sniping shots on his opponent, and he's going to have to really, really hone in on that this evening. Maybe try to force those takedowns out of Jakey if he's going to get that success. Due to this matchup, Leon Edwards, Kamaru Usman clearly have advantages in their own realms. Both guys have power in those hands as well, there, Dog.
Yeah, both of them. Well, Edwards has got some lovely kicks, lovely power. Usman, cardio, chin, everything. He has a powerful straight and a good late hook. If you get clipped by either one of them, you've got to be wary because you can't trade with an Usman.
Here we go. First round of the main event of the evening. They touch him up. Leon Edwards is in the side of T Drivers. Obviously, EK Jakey using the Kamaru Usman pick.
Oh.
This is interesting. I think he's using the colorblind settings, I think. I don't think I've seen this sort of color setup before. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's colorblind.
Knows if that has an impact on the quality of the gameplay. Maybe he is colorblind. Who knows?
Yeah, no, it's beautiful to see.
T Drivers working effectively on the inside. Great pullback elbow there from EK Jakey, though. Usman has so much power in those appendages, Doc.
Yeah, he really does. As I mentioned, that straight with a 97 power, I want to say. 95 power. In fact, he's got a 95 power with a 5-star straight and a 5-star jab. If you go 1-2 straight down the middle, you're going to feel that every time.
Big clinch right there from the Nigerian Nightmare. First couple minutes has been hotly contested. T Drivers getting the better of these exchanges, but now EK Jakey pushing forward and being the aggressor.
He does his best work, makes it very, very dirty, whether it be in the clinch or on the ground, trying to bring his opponent to deep waters. T Drivers doing a great job of working some shots in on his own in the clinch. One of the more underrated elements of Leon Rocky Edwards' game is his clinch game. As he's landing that teep, and I think that's money for him. Continue to use that teep. Be careful of that pull. Counter. Beautiful work by EK Jakey.
Oh! Rocky Edwards!
On the takedown though, and I love it.
Momentarily floors the champion midway through this first round. T Drivers impressing greatly. EK Jakey unable to get the grappling of the champion going. Let's see if he gets the takedown here. Yes, he does. Half guard for EK Jakey.
And this is what we kind of expected to see, a tale of two halves, maybe, starting to unfold in front of us. Clearly an advantage for T Drivers on the feet, but once it hits the mat, that is a different ball game. Although that was a great denial stopping that posture up, Doc. It's hard to do that.
It really is. That kind of denial on the posture up is a very difficult one. Again, though, Jakey gets back gets back down on the ground, looks at his side control position, probably looking for a crucifix, I'll imagine, from this position. Instead, goes for a top mount, but gets denied.
Once again, that denial absolutely on point for T Drivers. Very, very wary of that posturing up ability of Jakey to get that ground and pound off. Able to mitigate a lot of the damage coming his way from the ground as he gets another one. They stack up on the stamina massively. Uses it to reverse him. And T Drivers saying, I've got grappling chops of my own, my man. As he postures up and gets some ground and pound of his own. Not for long though, Bane. What a reversal back and forth.
Kimura sweep from EK Jakey, now posture up. Big shots right here, landing on the guard of Leon Rocky Edwards. 20 seconds remaining in this first of potentially 5 rounds at 170. What an electric start to the main event.
It gets though, gets out of it very quickly. 4 seconds left, and this is the end of round 1. Jakey coming up with a very... Although T Drivers got the knockdown, probably won the round. That was a very good ending for Jakey, probably building up confidence coming to the next round, and it states to T Driver that he needs to be wary of the takedown, otherwise it could just be the end of it.
Ready?
Oh! Look at this. EK Jakey stunned immediately in this second round, and he's knocked down.
And the thing is there, Bane, that damage is one of the biggest things in the eyes of the judges. So after that first rock in the first round, now starting out the second round so cleanly as well, got to think that the judges may be going in his favor should we make it through the full 5 minutes. Although both guys, to be fair, not wasting any time trying to get this damage off. Really bringing the action in this main event this evening.
Beautiful takedown defense displayed by Edwards in that moment. You see him testing out the uppercut, trying to catch the entries of EK Jakey as he did a moment ago. Big 1-2 lands for the British competitor. Takedown for the Nigerian Nightmare, though.
Spartan doing a lovely job again. Another reversal by T-Drivers, getting over into the full guard on top of Jakey. Probably looking for a gap instead, since that's where he's had the most success. He's gotten 2 knockdowns or so on him, I believe.
My God. He's really doing this. He said, no, you're going to keep taking me down. I'm going to stay here, get some work done of my own. 3 minutes left on the clock, and T-Driver's looking fantastic for the BSD, boys, Bane.
This is definitely a great look for the body snatchers, truly outclassing EK Jakey through the first 8 minutes of this one. And you can see that's displayed with a vicious ground and pound from Leon Rocky Edwards.
Yeah, Edwards is just having his time. As you mentioned, Looney, he's gone. Okay, you want to grapple? We're gonna grapple, and now he's just controlling this fight on the ground, getting a lovely denial there from the side position, just then proceeding to elbow.
And that's one of the things, right? It can really be a problem when you get taken to the mat time and time again, and your entire game plan is to work your way back to the feet. T-Driver's making an educated adjustment in this fight after some early success on the feet, now utilizing the ground. But he didn't have a lot to lose down there, if you catch my drift. You know, after that early rock, even if he was to lose a couple of minutes of top control, still in a very good position to win on the judges' scorecards in this round as he works some of these knees in the clinch. Honestly, T-Driver's looking absolutely phenomenal this evening as he flatlines him.
Oh, that is it. T-Drivers ends EK Jakey late in the second round. What a finish from Leon Rocky Edwards. We saw him be putting it all together tonight, and he secures what is sure to be a highlight finish over one of the best in the scene in EK Jakey. Massive toes to nose right there, Cyrus.
Yes, I mean, T-Drivers showing that he is a different beast right now. I mean, I'm absolutely blown away by that performance. I cannot say how highly I rate Jakey's abilities in this game. EK Jakey, an absolutely phenomenal competitor, a very well experienced man that doesn't get frustrated easily. So to have T-Drivers come out there and put on a show like that, he's saying, I'm ready to step up. I'm ready to go for that next step up and get that opportunity at a belt potentially in the near future. Putting on together wins like that, and it's going to be hard to deny the man, Doc. I mean, just absolutely flawless this evening, on the ground and on the feet.
That's a brilliant job. Yeah, he had a very good first round as well. Got the knockdown early on, and then afterwards, coming to that second round, he committed to the grappling and showcased he can grapple someone like Jakey. Very well done.
Well, that does bring us to the conclusion of this main event. It has been an absolute pleasure calling these 10 or so fights with yourselves, Doc and Bane. Non-stop action start to finish. There is one little bit of housekeeping that I would like to bring up before we move on to the end of the event, which is that, of course, on Wednesday now, we're going to be having our Fight Club 3, then followed by our Saturday event, which is both of them going to be at 8:30 BST, 3:30 Eastern, PM, of course, for both. The card that we have coming on Saturday in particular is a big one there, guys. We're going to be having our first Vengeance card, a novelty card, if that, no titles on the line, only honor and bragging rights, if you will. Each and every one of these guys calling each other out in the Discord, in the signups right now. We will be matching them up shortly. Going to be going down live on Saturday for all the marbles. You love to see it. Lots and lots to play for. If you haven't already, make sure to hit that follow button. We will be doing these 3 to 4 times a week. And honestly, there's just non-stop action there, Bane. I'm sure you'll agree, brother. Just every single time Primetime delivers.
I really emphasize this over and over to the viewers and those that know. You already know, but Primetime is the place to watch exciting fights. Everybody shows up and shows out through the early prelims up until the main event. Nothing but bangers and all action, and truly a pleasure to commentate alongside Cyrez the Looney, as well as Doc, my man, the myth, the legend behind the scenes. It's never a dull moment over at Primetime MMA.